Hi guys, and welcome back to Hilltop Farm, and welcome to another episode of Across the Duck Pond. Today, what we're going to be doing is just giving you a brief update on how the ducks are going. We've had a summer run well and truly overtime, so yeah, they don't really know what's going on, but you know, we are actually halfway through autumn, supposedly. Now, what we are going to be doing is, in the coming weeks, we will be going through the duck flock and culling them right back so that we're just back to the bare bones of what we want, because the ducks pretty much don't lay through winter, and it'll mean that once they start laying again, then everyone, like the babies we've had this season, will have grown up, they'll be ready to go. Yeah, and we'll only be dealing with the ducks we want in the flock, not the others. So there's quite a few that are going to have to be culled. Now, I did do a last batch of eggs in the incubator because we managed to get off a friend a blue drake, and he's getting old a bit, and I was anxious to get some babies from him before next season, just in case for some reason he doesn't make it to next season, which we did. Unfortunately, we had them under, I don't know if you're familiar with them, but when they first hatch, for those first probably the first week, we have the Brinsea heater things. They're a yellow flat thing that heats up gently underneath, and the chicks or ducklings can go underneath it and stay warm that way. There's no lights involved, it's not as fierce. Well, it turns out we had a faulty one of these, and because we had about, I'm going to say about 7, might have been 9, but anyway, we had them hatch, and we noticed one afternoon they were particularly noisy, which often happens when, you know, they fill up their water dish with sawdust and wood shavings and what have you, or they've run out of food or what have you. So we kept going to them to make, and they had water. We couldn't work out what was wrong. Yeah, and then they go quiet for a while, and then they'd be noisy. Anyway, this went on. Next morning, we had 3 left, and it turned out that this stupid Brinsea thing, which you don't know if it's on unless you put your hand underneath. There is a tiniest weeny red light on the top, but they often poop over it, so you can't see it. But anyway, there was only 3 left, which was really sad. So we've got those 3 little ones, and I will show you a little bit of those now. Okay, so they're our 3 they're the 3 little ones. Now they won't be culled until probably the end of winter, when they're bigger. We know for certain what their colours are going to be. We know they're all basically blue, but we don't know exactly what colour until the feathers come through. So we won't make a decision until then, and also by then we'll know what sex they are as well. So that, yeah, they'll be staying. But out of the rest of them, of which I'll show you in a minute, this is the lot that will be drastically culled, and this is them now. See how filthy they are? Anyway, they'll be sorted out. We've also come up with a new plan as to how to change their enclosure. We're sort of going to, basically the main part of that enclosure is actually going to end up being for chickens, and I'll talk about that in the next episode of From the Hen House, so you'll have to watch that to find out what I'm talking about for them. But basically the duck house, they're going to keep the house that they've currently got, but we're actually going to extend it on the other side rather than where they are now. They're going to go on the other side because there's an apple tree there, so they'll get plenty of shade in the summer, and there's a natural spot where it gets runoff from the concrete at the back of the house. And there's a natural hollow that fills up all the time. So we're actually going to utilise that, and where the concrete joins the earth, which is where all this water builds up, we're actually going to sink a pond in there rather than have these kids paddling pools. We're actually going to dig in a proper pond that will pretty much self-fill, because as I say, even when you water plants on the veranda, that's where all the water runs to. So, and in winter, the downpipes from the house will keep the water up to it. Well, I say the downpipes, it's next to one of the rainwater tanks, and when that tank is full, the overflow will keep it going. So that's what we're going to be doing with the ducks. So that's all I've got from them at the moment. A lot of you may be watching this having already come to the channel through watching the How to Successfully Hatch Duck Eggs series of ours. It's a 4-part series. If you haven't seen it, go down to the playlists on the channel and check it out. They're incredibly popular. They're the most popular videos on the channel, and yeah, they get sort of between 100 and 300 views a day, and for a little channel like mine, that's pretty good. So yeah, they're obviously helping people out there, which I'm really thrilled about. And anyone that has come across to the channel and subscribed after watching that series, welcome. And you have any questions, ask me and I will answer them if I can. Okay, so that's that. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button, give us a big thumbs up, and until next time, it's goodbye from Hilltop Farm. See ya!